Spearheaded by Skadi, the quick meta hype train was now steamrolling through the FGO community. Her skills allowed for rapid NP usage and high-speed combat, making quick teams the new trend. The legendary Merlin was still the incredible support that turned ordinary teams into unstoppable forces, capable of dealing massive damage in the blink of an eye. Meanwhile, Art's team struggled in the shadows, lacking the strong support that made Buster and quick teams shine. And just when it seemed like the game had settled into its patterns, a new hero emerged on the horizon. A hero with the power to reshape the very fabric of team strategies. Fate Grand Order has a dedicated player base eagerly anticipating new content. Over time, the game had seen the rise of powerful support characters that shaped the meta, most notably Merlin. Merlin's introduction had cemented Buster teams as a dominating force, creating a group of loyalists who swore by his unmatched support skills. These Merlin loyalists held their ground firmly, believing that no other support could rival the great Magus of Flowers. When Skadi arrived, she brought with her the power to revolutionize quick teams, threatening to dethrone Merlin from his pedestal. This led to what some in the community referred to as the Skadi Civil War. Merlin's followers were not interested in accepting Skadi as a contender of a great caster support. They argued fervently, defending Merlin's supremacy in the meta. On the other side, new Skadi enthusiasts highlighted the benefits of quick teams and how Skadi brought a fresh, dynamic approach to the game. This civil war created a divide among players, each side fiercely loyal to their preferred support. And amidst this ongoing rivalry, a new figure emerged. Artoria Caster, affectionately known as Castoria. Castoria's impending release during the game's 6th anniversary was met with massive anticipation. Players across the board, regardless of their allegiance to Merlin or Skadi, recognized Castoria's potential to bring a new balance to the game. The excitement was palpable as her release date approached. It's important to note that Art's team still existed, but they had become the underdogs. They had some support from characters like Tamamo no Mai and Waver, but they couldn't match the synergy and power of Buster and quick teams. Players longed for a way to make their favorite art servant shine again. And as Castoria has been released on the testing ground of our community called the JP servers, it had become clear that she was about to become the messiah of Art's teams. And she wasn't just about to change the game, she was about to break it. On the day Castoria became available, an unprecedented number of players logged in simultaneously to summon for her. The surge in traffic was overwhelming. Fate Grand Order servers, unprepared for this massive influx, began to falter. As more and more players tried to access the game, the servers couldn't handle the load and crashed. For many, the game became inaccessible, leading to frustration and disappointment. The excitement that had built up around Castoria's release had culminated in a server crash, something the FGO community would never forget. The FGO team worked diligently to resolve the server issues and get the game back online. Apologies were issued and compensations were given to players for the inconvenience. Despite the initial frustration, the incident became part of FGO history, a testament to Castoria's immense popularity and the passion of the player base. And once the servers were stable again, players who managed to summon Castoria began to realize her full potential. She indeed transformed the meta, making Art's teams formidable contenders and adding a new layer of strategy to the game. The Castoria Incident not only highlighted the game's technical challenges, but also underscored how a single character could generate such immense excitement and impact. It's a story of anticipation and the power of a beloved character to bring an entire community together, even if it temporarily brought the game to a halt. Castoria's release is a memorable chapter in FGO's history, marking the moment when player enthusiasm literally broke the game. and proving that in the ever-evolving meta, a new hero can emerge to unify even the most divided factions. So as the dust settled from the Castoria Incident, Fate Grand Order entered a new era, or an old era, because it all came full circle. Arts teams were now meta again. Castoria's arrival not only balanced the game's meta, but also introduced a concept that would redefine battles again: arts looping. And again, arts looping as a concept had always existed in Fate Grand Order, even before Castoria's arrival, even before Skadi's arrival. However, not in the form that we have today. It was way more limited and way less efficient. Players could attempt to loop arts-based Noble Phantasms using characters like Tamamo no Mai and Nero Bride, who provided some degree of NP gauge charge and cooldown reduction. However, these strategies were often inconsistent and heavily reliant on specific servant combinations and craft essences, not to mention that they were slow in comparison, which is why we now have the term slow arts team. Castoria made arts teams great again, and arts looping functions way better with her in the mix, by providing a consistent and powerful support framework. Her skills not only increase NP gauge charge and NP gain, but also enhance arts cards' effectiveness significantly. This synergy allows arts teams to achieve reliable NP loops with greater ease and effectiveness than in any other case. And as I have mentioned in other videos quite often already, looping refers to the ability of a servant to repeatedly use their Noble Phantasm in quick succession, and thanks to Castoria's powerful support, arts meta is now viable for this strategy as well. Vital to this mission, as mentioned before, are Castoria's skills that boost NP gauge charge, NP gain, and arts effectiveness. However, being a supportive character also means that you are not the sole star of the story. There are always two sides to a coin, and with one side of that coin being a support character, the other one has to be a damage dealer. And the choice of the primary damage dealer is crucial for the team's success. One of the most important traits for an arts looping DPS is high NP gain. This means that the servant should have a good NP generation rate, allowing them to quickly recharge their NP gauge. This is typically achieved through having high hit counts on their arts cards, including the NP, and a high NP gain stat. Moreover, a DPS with multiple arts cards in their command deck can consistently form arts chains, further enhancing NP generation. The Noble Phantasm itself must be effective in terms of damage and utility. An ideal NP for an arts looper should deal significant damage to enemies, often with added effects such as debuffs or self-buffs. Additionally, as mentioned before, the NP should have a high hit count or inherent NP refund mechanics, enabling the servant to regain a substantial portion of their NP gauge upon use. This is crucial for maintaining the loop and making the best out of the buffs that you give them. And while on the topic of buffs, it goes without saying that arts buffs are essential for an arts looping DPS. These buffs can come from the servant's own skills or external supports. Self-arts buffs increase the effectiveness of the DPS's arts cards, thereby boosting both NP gain and damage. NP gain buffs are equally as important, as they directly contribute to more consistent NP looping. Survivability is another key factor in an arts looper's effectiveness. A DPS must have tools to stay alive during extended battles, such as skills providing invincibility, dodge, healing, or debuff cleansing. Survivability options ensure that the DPS can maintain the NP loop without being incapacitated by enemy attacks, and additionally, if the DPS has team support capabilities, such as defense buffs or debuff removal, it adds to the overall stability and resilience of the team. An ideal looping DPS must synergize well with support characters. In the case of arts looping, especially Castoria. When it comes to Castoria, she almost synergizes well with everybody. Her kit is very generalized. However, this does not rule out the fact that some servants synergize better than others. The ideal DPS should be able to fully utilize Castoria's NP charge, arts effectiveness boosts, and survivability skills. This synergy ensures maximum efficiency and output from the team. Moreover, the DPS should be flexible enough to work well with other art supports as well, like Tamamo no Mai or Nero Bride. They provide additional NP charge, cooldown reduction and buffs. This flexibility enhances the team's overall performance and adaptability in various scenarios. With the right DPS, players can fully leverage the power of arts looping, maintaining high damage output and team stability. Such DPSs include Miyamoto Musashi, the Berserker form, Space Ishtar, Summer Kama, or Summer Jeanne d'Arc, just a set of examples. While any kind of perfect looping scenario with a fully graded team is still a very expensive thing to achieve for your account, arts looping in Fate Grand Order has become significantly more accessible compared to quick looping, largely due to the availability of key support characters and the lower investment that is needed. One of the main reasons arts looping is more accessible is the presence of highly effective support servants, particularly Castoria. Castoria's arrival introduced a game-changing support framework that benefits many arts-based servants. She provides substantial buffs that make it easy for a wide range of arts servants to achieve consistent NP loops. Unlike quick looping, which relies heavily on the more elusive Skadi, Castoria's releases have been accompanied by events and banners that increase her availability to all players. That is not the only reason, however, because arts looping generally requires less investment in terms of skill leveling and craft essence selection. Many arts loopers can function effectively without needing max level skills or specific high level CEs. For instance, with Castoria's support, many arts servants can loop their NPs efficiently even with basic NP charge CEs, such as the Imaginary Element or any other CE that provides starting NP gauge. In contrast, quick looping often requires specific high-level CEs like Kaleidoscope, Wizard Marshal, and the investment in double Skadi setups that can be way more resource-intensive. As a result, arts looping teams offer greater flexibility in terms of team composition. While quick looping typically relies on a limited number of optimal quick servants, Skadi essentially, arts looping can be achieved with a broader range of arts servants. This flexibility allows players to experiment with different combinations and find success with a variety of characters, reducing the need to pull for specific limited time servants. Many arts servants who can loop effectively are more accessible compared to their quick counterparts. For example, servants like Sieg, who was obtainable through an event, and Paracelsus, a readily available 3-star servant, can loop with Castoria's support. This contrasts quick loopers, who often require rarer 5-star servants that are harder to obtain. If you're looking for high rarity units that are also arts loopers, here's a list of the most popular options that experienced players typically go for. This list ranges from omni loopers to less potent variants, and it also includes some servants that might appear to be arts loopers but are best avoided when setting up for the arts meta. In the AoE tier, we have Da Vinci Rider, Habitrot, Moriarty Ruler, Jeanne d'Arc Archer, Kiara, Kyokte Bakin, Summer Musashi, Percival, Zenobia, Melt Lancer, Ranmaru X, Senji Muramasa, Sig, and Vritra. In the single target tier, we have the Trunk Sisters, Melusine, Nemo, Sitonai, and Hephaestion. The Omni tier would be Summer Kama, Summer Kiara, Summer Ibuki, and Space Ishtar. And finally, we have the most easiest to obtain, but also the most expensive to run system, the Gong tier, using Chen Gong. Servants you should not consider for the role of primary DPS include Caskill, Jinako, Nursery Rhyme, Da Vinci Caster, Anastasia, and Helena. Servants that can work but are a little troublesome to run include Salieri, Finn, Hokusai, Summer Mordred, Murasaki, or Odysseus. By leveraging the insights I have given you in this video and selecting the right servants, you can fully embrace the power of arts looping, enhance your gameplay experience, and conquer even the most challenging content this game has to offer with the greatest efficiency and strategy. The evolution of the arts meta underscores the dynamic nature of Fate Grand Order, where new strategies and team compositions continually emerge, keeping the game engaging and rewarding for its dedicated player base. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the video, and I thank you for watching and sticking with me to the end. I hope you enjoyed it, and I love to entertain you guys. Hopefully you learned something, and I wish you the best. See you in the next one.